Oh, we've had an extended break. But it's the first one of 2025 now. You know what? It's time to go wild. Finally back with another podcast from the Time to Go Wild radio show. I hope you've been enjoying yourselves. Of course, the show is available on YouTube and Podbean. If you want to contact us, you can get us on Facebook and Twitter.com/TTGW Radio. You can also check us out online in other ways. We have Amazon Music and Google Podcasts, through YouTube now, that take the feed. Of course, we've had a busy couple of days, busy couple of weeks. You'll find out why we've been a bit absent. Stay tuned. It's time to go wild. Hello and welcome to a new Time to Go Wild radio podcast. And a happy 2025 to everybody. I hope you've all had a good festive time and you're all ready and willing and re-energized, we could say, for the second half of the season, in a manner of speaking. So, where have I been? Well, I've been in Sheffield. Well, actually, I've been at a lot of hockey games, but part of it I was in Sheffield. Throughout December, things were very, very busy. So, plus with the build-up to Christmas, things were busy with the rink. There was preparations for stuff elsewhere, so we had a bit of a time out. But you can catch up with things from myself as I was invited onto Hawks Talk before Christmas and had a great chat with the guys from Hawks Talk, and we had a good hour actually, just discussing hockey in general, the way things are with Widnes, my thoughts on the way things are with British ice hockey as well, and how the season's been going. Of course, we picked up our first win for the YKK Widnes Wild just before Christmas at home. Not our first win of the season, but our first win at home in a big result against the Sheffield Scimitars. And it's been an up and down time. In terms of what I've been up to, a bit more of that after we do a little roundup of the more recent results. So we're going back just to the 10th of January, and we start with the Elite League. Friday 10th of January, Belfast Giants 2, Nottingham Panthers 0. Glasgow Clan 4, Cardiff Devils 5. On Saturday, Sheffield Steelers 5, Coventry Blaze 0. Manchester Storm 2, Cardiff Devils 3. Glasgow Clan 5, Guildford Flames 4 after overtime. Belfast Giants 4, Nottingham Panthers 2. Five Flyers 2, Dundee Stars 5. And on Sunday, Sheffield Steelers 8, Five Flyers 0. Dundee Stars 1, Nottingham Panthers 4. Coventry Blaze 5, Manchester Storm 1. Coming to the NIHL National League. On Saturday, Bristol Pitbulls 0, Leeds Knights 7. Milton Keynes Lightning 4, Hull Seahawks 3 after overtime. Solway Sharks 3, Peterborough Phantoms 5. Swindon Wildcats 4, Sheffield Steel Dogs 3. Telford Tigers 6, Romford Raiders 5. On Sunday, Berkshire Bees 4, Milton Keynes Lightning 2. Hull Seahawks 4, Swindon Wildcats 3. Leeds Knights 6, Bristol Pitbulls 1. Romford Raiders 4, Sheffield Steel Dogs 6. Solway Sharks 2, Peterborough Phantoms 3. Coming to Division 1 North Morley. On Saturday, Leeds Knights NIHL 1 7, Widnes Wild 2. Sheffield Scimitars 5, Hull Jets 4 after a shootout. On Sunday, Billingham Stars 5, Hull Jets 0. Blackburn Hawks 14, Sheffield Scimitars 1. Deeside Dragons 7, Whitley Warriors 5. Widnes Wild 5, Solihull Barons 7. And for Division 2 North Laidler, on Saturday, Coventry NIHL Blaze 7, Bradford Bulldogs 4. Sutton Sting 9, Telford Titans 1. On Sunday, Altrincham Aces 2, Telford Tigers North 2, 16. Bradford Bulldogs 9, Deeside Ducks 1. Nottingham Lions North 2, 6, Kingston Sharks 3. And Sheffield Titans 2, Coventry NIHL Blaze 3. That's a quick roundup as usual of the results spanning the leagues we try to cover, but mainly from the last week and a bit. More on the next one. But coming up, what have I been up to? So, before I do what have I been up to, some big results there. Not so much in the Elite League, fairly balanced. A couple of big blowouts. Sheffield Steelers on a big roll this weekend with a 5-0 win at home against Coventry on Saturday. And then an 8-0 win against the Fife Flyers. In National League, Leeds Knights absolutely rampant this weekend, beating the Bristol Pit Bulls by 7-1 down in Bristol, and then at home taking Bristol by 6-1. They are absolutely rampant at the moment. But a bit of a shock result, and you'll understand why when I come to the tables a little later on. Berkshire Bees getting a big win, 4-2 at home against the Milton Keynes Lightning. Bit of an unpredicted one there, I'd have said, going on the form book. So, a few upsets there. Some big results in Division 2. I mean, Telford and Sutton still very, very rampant. Telford taking the Altrincham Aces in Altrincham by 16-2. Sutton Sting taking the Sheffield Titans by 9-1. And then Bradford Bulldogs pulling off a big win by 9-1 against the Deeside Ducks. But morally, some very, very big results and some shock results, to be honest. I would have said, by the way the results have gone. I mean, Leeds Knights North 1 taking Widnes in Leeds by 7-2. Sunday, on the other hand, we'll come to in a moment, because though the result was Widnes 5, Solihull 7, those of you who were at the game, it was very tight, that game. I must admit it was a very tight game. You'll understand why when I come to the game sheet. The shock results for me, Blackburn taking the Scimitars 14-1, Deeside beating Whitley by 7-5, but the Hull Jets taking a 5-0 defeat in Billingham, but the day before actually losing out in a shootout to the Sheffield Scimitars. And, of course, Sheffield and Widnes are in that fight out to avoid the wooden spoon at the bottom of the table. But Hull taking only 1 point this weekend. But, I mean, against Billingham are very strong at the top of the table. But I wouldn't have predicted the result of a 5-4 shootout win for the Scimitars. And I don't think anybody else would have done so. Tip of the hat to the Sheffield Scimitars on pulling off a bit of a shock win this weekend. So, this is the thing with ice hockey. Anything can happen. As it did this weekend at Planet Ice Widnes. It was a bit of a ding-dong game. And there we are. Everything started. It's going, at a good pace. First period, 1 minute and 6. Solihull score from Jacob Race. It's like, okay, that's quick. 1 minute and 32, Widnes answer back with Thomas Viroistek. Get it right, Con. So Thomas answers back with an assist from Luke Alston and Ross Chalmers. So we go along a bit further. 3:58. It's Daniel Mulcahy from I have to scroll up and down. Nicholas Otterson and Max Soden, they make it 2-1. Then on the power play at 7:07, Matt Barlow from Owen Ray and Andrew Hopkins. Oh, okay, this is interesting. Widnes have taken a penalty just before at 17:27 when Jonathan Williamson was in the sin bin for boarding. At 18:02, Andrew Hopkins is brought down for a trip, but it's 1-on-1. So Nicholas Otterson's brought him down. He's awarded a penalty shot. And he buries it. Absolutely buries it. So not only is it a penalty shot, it's also technically a short-handed goal. So now Widnes are 3-2 up. Like, okay. 18:45, though, on the same power play, Zach Yokoyama, who's recently signed up for the Solihull Barons, bangs one in on the power play from Daniel Mulcahy and Nick Otterson. So it's 3-3. And that's how it finished at the end of the first period. Anybody who'd have been betting on this game, predicting the game, would not have predicted it to have been such a quick swingometer both ways. So, I'm going, okay, we've got a game on here. Second period. And at 26:27, Zach Yokoyama for the Solihull Barons from Jacob Smith and Jacob Race puts them 4-3 ahead. It's 4-3. 28:54, Andrew Hopkins from Matty Barlow and Mikey Gilbert make it 4-all. This is interesting. Then, 31:57, Matty Barlow from Mikey Gilbert and Ben McClellan make it 5-4 in favour of Widnes. It's not long, though, a couple of minutes later, 33:19, when Charlie Webb from Jacob Race and Zach Yokoyama make it 5-all. And it's like, we could hang on here for the end of the second period. 39:42, just on the dying moments of the second period. Daniel Mulcahy from Zach Yokoyama and Nick Otterson make it 5-4. Sorry, what am I saying? Make it 6-5 going into the period break. So it's now 6-5. I'm like, still in this? There's still a game on here. Well, the third period had absolutely everything. It was fast, it was furious, and it took till 51:42 for the next goal. And it was Corey Goodison. A lot of hard work from Corey, I must admit, on that one. From Max Soden and Brandon Anderton, and that made it 7-5 in favour of the Solihull Barons. And that's how it stayed. And when you look at the shots on goal, for Graham Laverick in the Solihull goal, it was 7 shots in the first, 14 in the second, and 8 in the third, for a total of 29. Harry Campbell in the Widnes goal must have been having puck Tourette's and puck nightmares, because he saw 20 shots in the first, 22 in the second, and 14 in the third, for a grand total of 56. I mean, 56 shots. That is a lot, and there were a lot of goalmouth scrambles in that. And superb performance from Harry Campbell, superb performance from the whole team. They put their bodies on the line. It was puck on body, body on body, body on puck, everything. Forechecked, back-checked, chased. You know, had all the excitement. It was great hearing the crowd being so loud. It had everything, that game. And, you know, yes, disappointed by the overall result. The performance, I can't really be disappointed in any way, shape or form, because it was a phenomenal performance and it shows how far the team have come. It shows what they can do when everything's clicking right. And, well, you can, those of you who were there, you could definitely say you went home after having watched a very good, very exciting ice hockey match. MVP went to Will Daly, and as you may have seen on social media, Will has also departed the Wild. And it's not a case of Wild letting Will go. Will's had to depart for personal reasons. It was very sad speaking to him after the game. He was sad to be leaving. He's also took part in stuff for our juniors. And I caught up with him as well for a few words. And this is what he had to say after the game. A night of full drama at Planet Ice Widnes. First home game back after the Christmas break. And it was the YKK Widnes Wild taking on the Solihull Barons. And our MVP of the night was Will Daly. Will, how did it feel out there tonight?
A bit disappointing. Could have won.
It's tough after a loss like that. I mean, it was a tough night last night in Leeds, but tonight, everything put on the line against the Solihull Barons is a big game.
I think we competed well. We should have picked up a couple more goals. Just lucky bounces didn't go our way. And unlucky, really. It was night and day compared to the Leeds game, where we just didn't work. So, need to be a bit more consistent, carry it into the next games.
But you've had a good season with us here at Widnes. How does it felt, stepping up onto the ice at NIHL Division 1 this year?
It's been really good. It's been a good challenge. I'm hoping to continue it on. Just not with Widnes, sadly, due to travel.
Yeah, we hear there's going to be some news coming out in the week. We won't say any more on this, but in terms of overall performances and how you've been feeling, you've developed throughout the year, how, that was one of the big games and it was an exciting one for everyone to watch.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good. I think hard game, could have done a little bit more, but it's one of those losses where it's tough because everyone worked hard.
So you're a young lad, you've still got plenty of life to go, plenty of hockey to play, and as I say, it is going to be a shame not to be seeing you in a Widnes shirt moving forwards, but we will no doubtedly see you in the future. But, you've also been a part of our academy as well.
Yeah, played 2 games with them. Hope I can continue in my career.
Well, it's good seeing you. I know these things are tough for you, but all in all, I think, tonight was a really good game for everyone to watch. Everyone worked hard. You could see the body on body, puck on puck. Everyone was diving in front of everything, and everyone was looking after Harry as well in the goal.
Yeah, I think we've pulled together as a team today, much more than what we've done in past games, and just hope they can continue on the consistency.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for being part of the Wild, and we wish you well for the future.
Thank you.
Thanks, Will. And all I can say is it's been a pleasure seeing you playing on the ice as a Wild player. We're going to miss you. All the best for where you end up. I'm not saying anything because I don't want to upset the apple cart with where Will be going. All I know is where he goes, they've gained an asset. He's a good lad. He's a hard-working player, and we will miss him at Widnes. So things change, things move around, and you have to keep your eyes out for what happens in the news. So, like I say, that was a very, very hectic game, but what's happened over the Christmas break? Well, what can I say about that? Well, I'm going to put a little sound bed on because, I'll keep it quiet. We were in Sheffield over the Christmas break. It was the England v Scotland Jamboree for the under 16s, 15s, 14s and 13s. And the under 13s had a representative from our own Wild Academy there that we know. and there was a couple of others who also play for the Wild Academy. They were playing for Scotland, but from our under 14s and also playing up at under 16s, Caleb Edelston was playing, and there was a very, very nice moment, and I felt awful in this moment because I was there announcing 24 games in 4 days, and early starts, long days, but I must admit it was amazing to watch. No quarter given, every game played at full pace. But for the under 13s, the team that Caleb was playing on, I was actually using our Wild Academy goals song. He was playing for the White England team, but on their very last game, just so that they could sort of mix things up a bit, so they can look at how the players work in different lineups. Caleb moved from the white team to the red team, so I switched the goal song from the white team to the red team, and one of the players from the white team came up to me and asked if I could play the particular goal song, and I was like, I'm really sorry, but the reason I'm playing it in the way I am is because it's our Academy's goal song, and one of our Academy players is playing for the red team now, and I felt awful. Because he's like, oh, can we have that goal song, please? I'm really sorry. I felt awful, but, he was so nice. He was really polite, so I'm really sorry about that. But it's just the way it was. I had to do it. It was sort of a bit of extra support for Caleb. But there were a few other players, some of them playing for the Scotland team, and Milo Wiley being one of them. I spoke to Milo actually at the weekend after an under-18s game, so I said to him, it was good seeing you at the Jamboree. And, it was intense, but all the players got a really, really big workout. The coaches have got lots to look at, lots to see, and it was entertaining. And I must admit, the England-Scotland games, to say they were friendlies, there's no such thing as a friendly in ice hockey unless it's more of a scrimmage. They were played at a serious pace, and you could see some serious talent out there. And, be it forwards, defence, goaltending, there's a lot of really good prospects out there for both England, Scotland, and moving forward for GB. It was very long. We were all shattered at the end of it, but, hats off to everybody who was involved in organising it, all the backroom staff, all of the organisers involved from England Ice Hockey, the officials, from the referee section, of course, all the coaches, all the kids. You were fabulous. A big thank you as well to all the parents who put their kids forward for it, and then spent them at least 2 days, if not more, of their Christmas break down or up in Sheffield at a hockey tournament, and in some cases up very, very early in the morning for 6 o'clock starts on 2 of those days. So yeah, we had 6 till 6 2 days, and then 8 till 8 for 2 more days. So after 24 games, I was rather knackered. And to top it off, if I hadn't had enough ice hockey for that entire 4 days, on the Saturday, so it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday and the Monday, on the Saturday I had the fortune to be able to attend the Sheffield Steel Dogs v Hull Seahawks game. And many of you know from my past that I started watching and supporting and being involved in all the ice hockey over in Hull. And apart from a game in D-side back when the Hull Pirates were having to play in Division 1, that wasn't a particularly competitive game, really. The Pirates, as they were then, were really a league above. It was not going to be a very balanced game, to be honest. Most of the former EPL teams were the cream of the crop in that year. So this was the first time I can say since 2013 that I've seen a Hull game and been there as a Hull supporter and been at a game that was genuinely competitive, apart from First 2 periods, Steel Dogs, better team, finished better and were 4-1 up. Third period, Hull come back and win it 5-4. Talk about doing it the hard way. And then on the Sunday, apparently back in Hull on the reverse leg, they were 4-1 down going into the third period and then won it 5-4 again against the Steel Dogs. Shows what an unusual beast ice hockey is when it comes to things like results. Sometimes when you think you're down and out, you come back and pinch a win. So yes, that sort of sums up Chris. Oh, and I was also at the Altrincham Aces against, sorry, not Altrincham, I'm saying Manchester Storm against Sheffield Steelers on New Year's Day. That was an entertaining game. Didn't quite go the way the Storm wanted, but it still went very, very close in the end. So, yes, plenty of drama. I was feeling rather cold at the end of it in the poor old bones, so I managed to warm up a bit. But yeah, that's where we've kind of been, so rather busy over the last few weeks. The wonders of ice hockey. 1 minute you're a guest on another podcast, the next minute you're down in Sheffield announcing for games, or you're over in Altrincham at an Elite League game. But last weekend, of course, a lot of games were called off because of the bad weather. And to be honest, I think in most cases the right decision was made because it was treacherous out there. So I hope everybody's been safe, everybody's kept well, and no one's been too badly affected by the weather. Okay, let us have a quick look at the tables. So, we come to the Elite League first. We're just going to do the league table. 5 Flyers at the bottom in 10th place at the moment on 6 points. They've had a rough time of it this year. Manchester Storm in 9th on 21 points after 27 games. Dundee in 8th, 31 games and 24 points. Glasgow Clan in 7th, 28 games and 26 points. My teeth are loose, I'm out of practice. The Guildford Flames in 6th, 28 games, 32 points, and the Coventry Blaze in 5th on 29 games and 34 points. Nottingham Panthers in 4th, 29 games and 35 points. Sheffield Steelers in 3rd, 28 games and 38 points. The Belfast Giants in 2nd, 28 games, 41 points, and the Cardiff Devils top of the table at the moment after 30 games with 44 points. But it's still tight. I mean, in terms of the points percentages, it's level between the Belfast Giants and the Cardiff Devils, so it's not much to take between the two of them in the Elite League. Moving to the National League, and the Berkshire Bees currently still in 11th position, 33 games and 19 points. The Telford Tigers in 10th, 35 games, 26 points, the same as the Bristol Pitbulls in 9th on 36 games and 26 points. Next jump is to 8th position for the Solway Sharks, 34 games and 30 points, and the Romford Raiders in 7th, 35 games, 35 points. Sheffield Steel Dogs in 6th, 34 games and 38 points, and the Peterborough Phantoms in 5th on 34 games and 39 points. The Hull Seahawks in 4th, 34 games, 42 points, and then the Swindon Wildcats in 3rd, 35 games and 50 points. They are nipping at the heels with the Leeds Knights. They've got 2 games in hand though, 33 games, 51 points. And then the Milton Keynes Lightning at the top of the table with 35 games and 54 points. However, when you look at the points maximas, Leeds are slightly in the driving seat by 1 with a max possible of 93. Milton Keynes with 92. And then Swindon with 88. So the top 3, still in a fairly close race really. So who knows where that's going to take. We'll go to Division 2 North now, before we jump back to Division 1. Division 2 North, Deeside Ducks in 10th position, 17 games and 5 points. The Sheffield Titans in 9th, 17 games and 10 points. Then nipping at the heels of the Nottingham Lions North 2, 19 games and 11 points. Bradford Bulldogs in 7th on 18 games and 16 points, with the Kingston Sharks in 6th, 18 games, 20 points. A little jump now to the 5th position. Altrincham Aces, 19 games and 29 points. The Coventry NIHL Blaze in 4th, 17 games, 32 points. And then the Billingham Buccaneers, 17 games and 36 points in 3rd place. The Telford Tigers NIHL 2 in 2nd on 18 games played, 51 points. Big jump there. And then another big jump to the top of the table. Sutton Sting, 20 games played and 60 points. And based on the points maximas, with the Billingham Buccaneers on 36 and the maximum points available for the D-side Ducks of 32, they have been classed as qualified for the playoffs. So the ones who have actually qualified for the end of season playoff competition, though positions unconfirmed, are the Billingham Buccaneers, the Telford Tigers NIHL 2 and the Sutton Sting. None of them can be caught by the D-side Ducks, and they can't be caught by the Nottingham Lions either, because their maximum point is 32. The Sheffield Titans could potentially move from 9th because they've got a max points potential of 37. So once you've got above the max points of appropriate teams, you've qualified. The Coventry NIHL Blaze on 32 are pseudo qualified. They basically need 1 point at the moment to get them above that 32 point threshold, and they will have effectively qualified. So that's Division 2. We move to Division 1, and in 10th position, having slipped back, it's the YKK Widnes Wild. 23 games and 11 points. The win at the weekend for the Sheffield Scimitars in the shootout against Hull. After 26 games, they're in 9th position on 12 points. But Widnes have 3 games in hand. Leeds Knights NIHL 1 are in 8th position, 21 games and 16 points. The Nottingham Lions in 7th, 21 games, 24 points. Whitley Warriors in 6th, 21 games and 31 points, and then a jump. Hull Jets in 5th, 25 games played though and 42 points. So Whitley having quite a few games in hand there, 4 games in fact. And then the Solihull Barons in 4th after 22 games and 44 points. D-side Dragons in 3rd, 23 games played, 45 points, and then the big jump. 2nd position, Blackburn Hawks, 23 games and 54 points. And the Billingham Stars, top of the table, 25 games played and 66 points. When you look at the points maximas, however, the Sheffield Scimitars are on 43. Widnes Wild could get 50. The Leeds Knights could get 61. The Nottingham Lions 69. Hull Jets 75. Whitley Warriors 76. D-side Dragons 84. Solihull Barons 86. Blackburn Hawks it's 93, and the Billingham Stars it's 99. And of course, because of their current point situation, because they've got 54 points and 66 points between the Blackburn Hawks and the Billingham Stars respectively, that takes them above the 50-point threshold of Widnes. Because, of course, the next one up is Leeds with 61. That means that the Blackburn Hawks and the Billingham Stars have effectively qualified for the end-of-season playoff competition. So, you know, with the points maximus, it does flip things around a little bit. So, who knows what can happen? Bit of a tall order for Widnes and Sheffield to try and creep into the 8th position. You know, it's a big jump, 43 to 61 at the moment. 50 to 61 with the 3 points for a game. Who knows? Who knows? So that basically is our little bit of the table. Now,
that's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
A little bit of naughty step, and these are only the most recent ones, and a lot of them aren't actually from Division 1 North. They're mainly, I think sort of a mixture of National League and South. Excuse me. We've got George Howe from the Swindon Wildcats from NIHL 2. South, that is. 2 games suspension for fighting an unwilling opponent. The defending player turtled and the aggressor landed several punches. Alistair Barrow from the MK Thunder got a 2-game suspension for fighting an unwilling opponent. Multiple punches delivered to the opponent who was on their knees. Jared Vigus, I think it is, from the MK Thunder, 3-game suspension for an illegal check to the head. The cross-check delivered with excessive force. Point of contact was directly to the head, recklessly endangering the opponent. Joseph Llewellyn from the Cardiff Fire got a 2-game suspension for fighting. Player was an aggressor fighting 2 unwilling opponents. And then he's got another 2 games for hitting the 10-point threshold, so a total of 4. Bailey Herwood from the Bristol Pitbulls got a 2-game suspension after review, but he'd already served 1 for fighting. But it says, fighting whilst tolerated during the game involves equal and willing combatants or a variation of this covered under the rules. It does not cover a player picking up and body slamming another to the ice, causing reckless endangerment. Ouch! Sonny Keywood, I think it's Sonny Keywood from the Solent Junior Devils, got a 2-game suspension for unsportsmanlike conduct. Cameron Huff, I think it is, Huff from the Peterborough Phantoms, 1-game suspension after a review, hitting the 10-point threshold. And Lewis Morgan from the D-Side Ducks got a 2-game suspension for an illegal check to the head. A player delivered a cross-check to the opponent's head-neck area, recklessly endangering them. So they're the latest of the people on the naughty step.
Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast.
So yes, if you don't want to get on the naughty step, you have to behave. So, what have we got next? Well, big news is, of course, from EnglandIceHockey.com. The Steel City Showdown tickets have been released. And the details are on the website for EnglandIceHockey.co.uk. England Ice Hockey and the NIHL and EIH events team are pleased to confirm the details for the exciting finale to the NIHL regional playoffs, the Steel City Showdown. Teams from NIHL North 1 and 2 and South 1 and 2 will meet at the Bauer Arena in Ice Sheffield on the weekend of the 12th and 13th of April 2025, with 6 games taking place. Every one is a championship game, so Saturday's action will begin with the Laidler playoff final. So that's North 2 at 10:45. Then you've got the Wilkinson playoff final. South 2 at 1:45. The North 1 Morley playoff at 4:45. And then finished off with the Britain playoff for South 1 at 7:45 on the Saturday. And then the winners of those games will then reconvene with on the Sunday in the National Playoff Final Championships. So the Division 2 National Playoff Final, which will be, of course, North 2 v South 2, will be at 1 p.m. on the Sunday, and the Division 1 North 1 v South 1 will take place at 4:30 p.m. Tickets for this end of season extravaganza are on sale as of Monday 13th of January, and there's early bird prices and normal ones. So if you get your ticket up to the 14th of February, adult prices are £54, concessions are £36, and a family ticket of 2 adults and 2 concessions is £160 for the weekend. And if you're buying them after the 15th, or on or after the 15th of February, it's £60 for the adult, £40 for concessions, and £170 for the family of 2 adults and 2 concessions. All in all, I mean, if you're going for all 6 games, the £54 works out about £9 a game, which isn't too bad, to be honest. And seeing that they're all finals, every single one of them, each team will be playing for something. And of course, if your team isn't there, be a neutral, or actually pick a team and support them. So NIHL General Manager Hayden Hunter says, "We're excited to get this event fully launched and tickets on sale. The prospect of a single joined-up playoff weekend has caught the imagination of clubs and fans since it was announced. We hope the pricing and early bird offers will encourage fans from right across the leagues to support the event, and hopefully for them and their club. We really can't wait to see a barn full for the 6 playoff finals on one fantastic weekend." And all details for the Steel City Showdown are on englandicehockey.com. So, where does that leave things coming up? Well, of course, if you want anything to do with your YKK Widnes Wild, you can see it courtesy of widneswild.co.uk. And then you also have our contact details and in Instagram of instagram.com/WidnesWildOfficial, TikTok, which is tiktok.com/ I think it's @WidnesWildOfficial. YouTube page is youtube.com/WidnesWildIceHockeyClub. Usual things for Facebook, Twitter, and of course, we've got a few up and coming fixtures. So this coming weekend, the YKK Widnes Wild are away on Saturday the 18th in Nottingham. Just check all the social media and club outlets for the fixture times, because sometimes they have changed. But that's Saturday the 18th, and our under-16s are in Sheffield on Saturday. And so that's both road games on Saturday. And then on Sunday, our under-12s are in against the Manchester Academy in Altrincham, and our under-14s are in Nottingham. So, road games this coming weekend, it seems. Then the following weekend, the 25th of January, the YKK Widnes Wild are at home. Yes, Saturday fixture, 7 p.m. I've got as a face-off time for that against the Blackburn Hawks. So Saturday 25th of January, it's a 7 p.m. face-off time on the Saturday against the Blackburn Hawks. And then on Sunday, the Widnes Wild women will be at home 25 past 4 against Telford. So they have got Telford at home on the 26th of January. That's the Widnes Wild women facing Telford. So that's some fixtures. And of course, an invaluable thing to always have are our sponsors. Title sponsor YKK, our penalty boxes with Fresco Environmental, and our timekeeping bench with Sigma Techs. And we also thank MPG Maintenance, Roger Truck Services, DMH Tyres, Cheshire Taxation, Bright Spark Event Lighting, Northwest Mixers Ready Mix Concrete, and Newton Construction. And our player sponsors of Charlie Henry with Bear Aesthetics and La Jolie Ronda, and as well as Alice J. Clark Sports Romance Writer, and our Bez Hughes, sponsored by Barlow's EV. So, I think for today, that pretty much rounds things up. A lot of my witterings. Hopefully, there's been something of use, something of interest for you all, and hopefully we will be back with another podcast. Well, not necessarily next week, but all being well the week after, especially since we will have a home game the following week. In the meantime, of course, my usual little sign-off. Take care of yourselves, look after each other, and of course, enjoy your ice hockey wherever you're getting it. If you want to get in touch, you know what to do. In the meantime, I'll wish you a good rest of the week. Take care, and I'll catch you soon. The Time to Go Wild podcast for another time. Ta-ra.